Welcome, everybody. We're trying something a little bit different here, kind of a fun game. So you got coronavirus just taking down the world. We were thinking about doing a March Madness, but with stocks, but there's no more March Madness. But we're going to go ahead anyways. We're going to do something called Stock Madness. Hey, we know this is obviously very tough times, right? We're just trying to have a good time. You're at home, cooped up. Have a good time with us. See what we're talking about. Play along with us as well. Let us know what you think below. Hopefully everybody's being safe out there, and I wish the best for you, but let's have a good time. Stock Madness. We are going to put stocks against each other. It's going to be me versus him, and we're going to go for it here. He'll explain the rules to you, but one thing I got to point out before we get into this, these are not recommendations, right? I'm not allowed to give recommendations. This is just a fun game where we're going to pit stocks against each other, share ideas of why we came up with the different stocks, but it's not a recommendation. So tell them how it works.
So basically what we're going to do is we're going to have 8 stocks each, 2 from the main sectors. We're not going to have all loaded up in one sector.
Yep.
It's percentage change over 2 weeks. So initially we were going to do 1 week.
Yep.
But we just decided there's probably going to be more change in a 2-week span. We're only going to do 16 total, so we can kind of get that to run for a few weeks now, or I guess probably about 2 months now.
Yep.
And then the winner is going to get a little special prize at the end that you'll just have to wait and see.
I don't know what the prize is, but we thought what we'd start doing around here is like little challenges and stuff, just having a little fun getting away from the financial stuff. If we can, this is more financial, but it's sort of a competition, and he's apparently got some sort of prize for the winner, and
you're going to love it.
I hope it's me. So 8 stocks apiece. They're going to go head to head. We'll go bracket style, do what we got to do. And do you want to start?
I'll go ahead and start it off if you'd like.
All right. What sector are you starting with? I picked 4 sectors. I think you picked the same sectors from what I could see.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm going to start in tech.
Okay.
So my first overall pick is going to be Microsoft. Microsoft recently, Bill Gates stepped down. Obviously, everything's everything's kind of been slammed down with the coronavirus. This is one that I believe you actually kind of talked to everybody else about how if the markets are going to bounce, you're going to need tech and
he's learning.
Financials.
He is learning
to bounce. And so I'm going to go with Microsoft. And Microsoft is going to be competing against Visa is my number 2 pick. Obviously, I think this is one where spending is slowing down and everything's being halted. I think maybe over the next couple weeks, if Visa can take down Microsoft in the bracket there, as people start spending a little bit more money, maybe Visa starts to rally a little bit.
I like it.
So Visa versus Microsoft will be in my first bracket.
And it's weird because that's like, it seems financial versus tech, but Visa is more they call it fintech than anything else. Visa and MasterCard been out there like gobbling up different companies from payment processors. Like literally the people, our customers link their bank account to their Folio account with us, and they use now the payment provider that Visa owns. So they really are trying to expand in the fintech space. They want every action of your dollar. Wherever a dollar is being spent or moved, they're trying to do it. So we'll see what happens there.
And my other note on that, by the way, with Microsoft is, and I could be wrong on this, when Bill Gates stepped down, that was shocking news to me. I don't know if there was, news that could happen. And it seemed like they already had a plan in place. The former American Express CEO is going to step in.
As a board member, yeah.
As a board member, but it just seemed like nothing really happened. It was more he stepped down and everyone was like, okay.
Well, this is his official move away entirely. Like he wasn't the CEO for years, but he was on the board and now he's leaving the board. So it's like this is the official departure of him. It wasn't a big deal.
It didn't seem like
do
a big
much.
deal. I thought that would be a bigger deal than it was, but
well, now was that because the virus was out there and everything is so volatile anyways?
True.
If nothing was going on, this probably would have been headline news. We'd have been focused on it. Oh my God, what's he doing?
Yeah.
But so much is they're getting away with. I mean, UPS, they got a new CEO and it was like nothing happened.
Yeah.
I thought that would have been a big deal. He was a good guy. Okay, so you've got those 2, and in the tech space, what I did is I tried to go with some different names so I could provide some different kind of input here. Also, I tried to go with names I figured he wouldn't pick just to make it sort of, it's still competition. I want to win. But my first tech pick is Intuit. Intuit does TurboTax. They've got QuickBooks. They're really into the payment processor space too. So maybe that's not really a Visa competitor, but something like that. As far as earnings go, I don't know if it makes it into earnings season. Remember, we got 2 more weeks until earnings season starts. If for some reason this stock makes it through and beats my second pick, That'll be awesome. They haven't missed earnings since 2014. You know, I like my stats on that one to look back. Also, H&R Block, right? It's tax season. Intuit does TurboTax. H&R Block does their own H&R Block. And H&R Block's having a problem with expenses. So they're spending a whole lot more to acquire a customer. I think when the end of the day comes out, that TurboTax will be finally beating H&R Block in terms of how that goes there. And if you look at the analysts out there, the average price target is 12% higher than where the stock is currently trading as of now, right? So Intuit's my first pick in the tech space. And the second one is AMD, like the darling of the tech space, semiconductor space right now. AMD makes the chips that go in that computer that's over there. They compete with Intel, but AMD is like kicking everybody's butt there. It's the only one of the semiconductors to get upgraded during the whole coronavirus meltdown, hands down, just across the board upgraded, no downgrades there at all. And then, at least as the point of me looking at the stock, the sector had sold off over 20%, just like a good discount. I think it's maybe an overcorrection because AMD fell a little bit further. And so maybe there's a little bit of a snapback there. We'll see what happens. So AMD and Intuit, my first two picks in the tech space.
Sounds good. We're moving on to communication.
So you did communication services too. Okay, yep. Okay. Gotcha.
So the one thing you're going to notice different about you and I is you just threw a bunch of stuff out there, and I don't think I understood what most of it meant. I didn't have a clue what you were talking about.
That's my thing, man.
So
it's
my
game.
First pick, Netflix and communications, because what are people going to do if they're quarantined or if they're just hanging out? You know, they don't want to go outside with the coronavirus thing going on. What are they going to do? They're going to watch Netflix.
I tell you, my wife watching Netflix, but do they make more money off of that? If she watches 14 hours in a row because she don't want to go outside, did Netflix make any money?
But their viewership is up, right? They're going to show
viewership, subscription,
company, right?
Okay, yeah. Gets more people to check them out. Maybe you subscribed and you haven't really looked at it. Now you binge watch and you go, "This is awesome. I'm not going to cancel."
Maybe you didn't have Netflix before. You do 30-day free trial. You forget about the 30-day free trial. You get hit again.
Yep.
There's another purchase bought. So I'll have Netflix and then Take-Two. So Take-Two actually recently partnered with the NFL again.
Yep.
They're coming out with NFL 2K 2021, I believe is what it's going to be.
It's a good game.
And actually, it's regarded as a great game. A lot of people think it's better than EA's Madden. So it'll be interesting to see what they come up with. Now, I know by the time we start this, that's going to kind of be older news, but I would expect it to rally. And I don't know when they report earnings or if they already did, but I think that would be something that'll kind of help them at least down the line. So if Take-Two can take down Netflix, which seems insane, but if they do, maybe that's one that could make a little bit of a run.
At the end of the day, it's a percentage change, right?
Yeah.
So it could be that Netflix goes flat for 2 weeks and Take-Two takes off. That's kind of the cool part about this game is it's like, yeah, we want to pick a good pick. I want to beat him.
Yeah.
But who knows, right? You're putting two stocks against each other. We're not really competing at this point. It's you competing against that. So I like that. Okay. My two, I'm really hoping one wins over the other here. This is not one where I tried to pick two people that could fight. First one is Disney. I think Disney is way oversold here. I get it. The parks are closed everywhere. That's sad to me. I should be there right now. Way oversold. They got a new CEO. The new CEO is actually going to continue with the same sort of footprint that Bob Iger was putting in there. Real good. By the way, Bob Iger Masterclass, if you happen to see that, it's really, really good. They've been through a lot of hell, not just with the parks, but the park closings and everything, hotels and everything. It's going to hurt for a little bit. I just think it's overdone. Funny story, while we were there, the Jungle Cruise at Magic Kingdom sank. The little boat. You've never been on the thing.
No,
the Jungle Cruise sank. The People Mover that goes up atop in Tomorrowland went haywire and crashed into the other People Mover there. You had the Haunted Mansion break down for 3 days in a row. The chain snapped. They had to take the whole thing apart, evacuate everybody. So you got a new CEO. Those three things happened. And unfortunately, lady committed suicide, jumped off the Contemporary Resort in a 4-day window. So they already had that chaos going on, and that got washed away in the news a little bit. But I just think it's crazy. Stock sold off way too much. Even if it sells off a little bit more, I think it will beat my second pick, which is Twitter. Twitter, I'm really just banking on getting Jack Dorsey out as CEO. Elliott Management took a big position in the company, and they said, Jack Dorsey, you got to get out. He's the CEO. He also runs Square. So the guy's trying to run Twitter and run Square. I can barely run this place. And he's trying to do this, and he's doing it from South Africa. He moved to South Africa and said, I'm not even going to be in the building. I'm just going to go live over here. So Elliott Management, an activist investment group, said, we're going to take a position. We're trying to get board members put in place so we can get rid of Jack Dorsey. I don't know what happens. I'm just thinking, all right, that creates some volatility, and maybe the volatility comes in the next couple of weeks and I could use it.
Do you use Twitter?
No.
I don't use Twitter. I don't really know anybody that uses Twitter. I don't understand Twitter. I feel like that's the next social media to die. But
we have a Twitter. I used to tweet stuff. I didn't know if anybody saw it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Banking on volatility, news volatility there.
That's fair. All right, so on the services, consumer services, kind of just the consumer space, right?
Yep.
First one I got is Amazon. They're one of the bigger ones in the space, so I simply just went with Amazon. I'm going to stick with the Corona theme. Nobody wants to go outside and go shopping right now. More people will be using Amazon, I assume. Just kind of going off on a whim there. I love Amazon.
Actually, I just saw Amazon said all of the normal toiletries and things like that, they're just out.
Yeah.
Period. Amazon, out.
Well, did you see that story of the guy who went to go sell 17,000 things of hand sanitizer, but he was price gouging? He had them way overpriced. He went and bought them at all the local stores, and Amazon told him, nope, you can't sell it.
I saw that.
That's pretty crazy. Good for Amazon.
Yeah, it shouldn't be allowed.
Yeah, I mean, he can upsell it a little bit, but not as much as he
Yeah, a
wanted
little
to.
price like Disney. You go to Disney, you pay $5 for a Coke, but you don't pay $50.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm late on the Amazon train, but recently I like it.
I bought like 3 things. I don't use it. I don't get it.
I like it. And then going against them is just a fun pick that I have is Penn National Gaming. I'm big on the Barstool Sports. You can probably just look at me and assume that I like Barstool Sports. Penn National Gaming recently invested in Barstool back in January. Recently, they've just taken a huge hit, obviously, with everything with the coronavirus. So I'm in on Penn because I like Penn. That's it.
Okay.
They also recently announced that they're going to suspend the use of their casinos in India and other places. Not great, but I'm still going to go with Penn.
Well, I mean, you got a $14 stock versus what, 15, 1600?
Yeah.
So it's at the end of the day, it's a percentage change, right? So whatever happens there. All right, let's see what happens. That'd be great if you're Penn National to go against
like a 16-1 game. You know, in March Madness, they got the 16 seed versus the 1 seed. That's kind of what that is.
Throw one in there. I didn't throw one in there though. I should have done that. Anyways, so I've got financials. You guys know me. If you want the markets to bounce, I kind of think they're going to bounce in this area, not for good, but I think they're going to have a lot of more up days than down days as we calm down. So to have that, you got to have financials. So in the financial space, I actually went with that sector. I chose 2 names. I got Citigroup. It is the most volatile of all the large banks, like your Goldman Sachs, Bank of America, things like that. What I look for is the most volatile name. They've got earnings on April 16th. So if by chance this stock makes it through there, that's fine. That gives me a little more volatility. Beats on earnings. It'll be their first quarter earnings. They beat on earnings 83% of the time. And so what I then looked at was, if they beat on earnings, what's the average gap higher? So let's assume they beat. I get lucky. Average gap higher is 1.67%. And maybe that happens to be better than JP Morgan, which JP Morgan is my second pick. It's the second largest weighted stock in the sector, second to Berkshire Hathaway. So JP Morgan's 12%. So if you figure if financials go up, we'll take the one that has the biggest weighting. That should get a little more attention because of people buying ETFs and things like that. More money goes to JP Morgan. That should help. April 14th is earnings on that one. They just beat all the time. 94% of the time they beat on first quarter earnings, and it's the most volatile quarter for them. So out of all the quarters, the quarter that has the biggest upside move is quarter 1 for them. If it makes it to April 14th, I feel like I've got 2 really volatile stocks to go against each other. And it's simply that, just stats. I have nothing else to offer in terms of the banks.
So that's similar. I got the financials here as well in my last sector. JP Morgan, second largest to Berkshire Hathaway. That's who I have as my first pick.
Are you going largest?
Yeah, I just looked at the flat.
I'm going to need the volatility
They
then.
make up 13% of the sector. This makes up 12%. Going strictly off of volatility, and actually the same thing with Microsoft, where if the market's going to bounce, it's going to be tech and financials. So I figured, well, let's just go with the biggest one in the financial way, and then also tossed in American Express. I'm learning, yeah.
Yep.
American Express, again, same as Visa. You know, as hopefully everything starts to rebound over the next couple of weeks. Hopefully spending goes back up, and I got American Express in there.
You got your bases covered there. I like that.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah,
I got you.
Everything.
My last space, I think, did you go consumer staples too?
I
or
did not.
Something else? Okay. So I went consumer staples, and this is my defensive play in a way in case the virus actually becomes worse and everything's a panic here. I went number 1, Dollar Tree. If the economy really is getting weaker or starts getting weaker, the mindset is Dollar Tree does better, Dollar General does better. People go to the dollar stores versus Target instead of spending money on that stuff there. So
good pick.
And also, if you look at the chart, it's getting to the low end of a 3-year range. I don't know if it, does anything from here. I just thought, okay, it's at the lower end of a 3-year range. I thought that made sense. Around 65 is kind of the low end of that range there. No dividend, but it's the 7th most volatile stock in that space. And if we're playing a 2-week match, essentially, I wanted volatility there. Again, the economy gets weaker. You expect that store gets at least more attention. Maybe people don't shop there, but people are going to believe that people are going to shop there, and that might help her a bounce. And the second name I picked was beer, right? Molson Coors, symbol TAP. The economy gets worse. The assumption is you're not going to stop drinking. You're going to keep drinking. The people that drink beer are going to keep drinking. The stock now is super weak. So this is kind of a counter trend play. If you happen to look, go all the way back to October 2016. It's been in a downtrend since October 2016. That's not a good sign there. You got, because of that, you got a 60% discount. It's like 5.3% yield. So, I mean, it's just playing maybe a counter trend bounce here. They just got away from the shooting in Milwaukee. They had a shooting at one of their, the Milwaukee brewery. I think it was Milwaukee Best, actually. So everybody's back up to running there. But if you're not familiar with Molson Coors, TAP is the symbol. Obviously, it's Coors Light. It's blue, what's the one? Blue
Moon.
Blue Moon, yep.
Yeah, in the back there, actually.
I do?
Well, yeah.
Oh, you have some in the back. It's Blue Moon, Miller Lite, names like that. So I just thought, let's give it a shot. Got a little yield there. We're not counting in yield for this. This is just percentage move, but I just want to give you something interesting to look at. That's my pick.
That's all I got. Very good.
Okay.
Very good.
So that's our match. We'll see what happens. We're going to update you every week just to see. We'll do just kind of catch up, see what's going on there. Maybe put some graphics in the screen, see how we can do. But let us know. Comments below. What do you think? Is he way off and I'm going to win, or am I going to lose and he's got the better picks there? Let us know what you think, and we'll take it through Stock Madness. Let's see what happens.
I'm excited to beat you.
All right. See you later.